Oh.
The UK's most exciting upcoming chefs
Ready to go.
are battling it out
I'm not here to mess around.
for a chance to cook a course
It's game on or game over.
at a banquet to celebrate the very best of British invention and innovation.
No pressure.
It's 30 years since a Brit changed everything by sharing the internet with the world, and since Britain's first astronaut went into space. Wowza. Our scientific breakthroughs have changed the way we live. From the Scottish discovery of penicillin a century ago to the first ever postage stamp.
Yikes!
I'll be in the kitchen to support the chefs on their adventures
I can feel the panic.
This is my nightmare.
as some of the most fierce
Chef, Concord is never late.
and accomplished veterans of the competition judge them
It's not. No.
and send one of them home each day.
We've got a bowl under it.
Not much you can say.
The chefs must come up with ambitious dishes that capture the genius and brilliance of British invention.
God, this is a hug in a glass, isn't it?
The judges are looking for skill and groundbreaking culinary innovation.
I like that.
Of course they are. It's Great British Menu. This time, chefs from the Central region battle it out
Gonna be there, gonna be there.
to get to this year's Great British Menu banquet.
Ready to rock.
This week, the top chefs from Central region are theming their dishes on some of science's greatest pioneers. Prepare for culinary reimaginings of Sir Isaac Newton's apple, Stephen Hawking's exploding black holes, and Rosalind Franklin's extraordinary breakthrough with DNA. The first of our newcomer chefs is Liam Dillon from Lichfield. Having worked at top restaurants like the Michelin-starred The Berkeley, he now owns the Boat Inn in his home city.
Some great talent in the kitchen, so if I can cook my whole menu, I'll be over the moon.
Shannon Johnson originally hails from Lincolnshire, but these days she's head chef at London restaurant Iche.
I'm really focused, really energised. I'm really excited to be in the GBM kitchen, hopefully showcase my great food and go all the way to the banquet.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
okay?
to meet you, you all right?
Yeah, good.
Stuart Collins is another Staffordshire lad. He's cooked with some of the biggest names in the industry. Gordon Ramsay and Michael Caines are just two. Having worked around the world, you'll now find him back on home turf.
Nice to see a friendly face.
Yeah, indeed.
Do you know each other?
Yeah.
A great competition, amazing talent, but it's going to come down to the cooking.
And finally, Wolverhampton native Sabrina Gidder, executive head chef at London's Albright. She's hoping it's third time lucky in the Great British Menu kitchen.
I'm so excited to be back representing the Central region for the third time, and I'm really hoping I can push it through this time.
Hello, chefs.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the competition. How you doing?
All right, thank
Good.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Hello, my darling.
Hello.
You're back.
Had a little year off, and now I'm ready.
How are you all feeling?
Good.
Yeah,
Ready for
excited.
this? Ready for competition?
Ready to cook, yes.
Oh, I like it. So first up, it's the canapé. Now, I can't stress this enough. It needs to be bite-sized. So off you go. Best of luck. The canapés are an opportunity for the chefs to introduce themselves and their food to the competition veteran who is going to judge them. The canapés won't be formally scored, but could be used to decide a tie-break at the end of the day when someone must go home. The chefs waste no time in their quest to make a good first impression. Liam's preparing potato string for his chicken canapé. Shannon's using local Birtswell cheese to make a savoury scone. Stuart's making a chicken and mustard mousse for his appetiser. And Sabrina is mashing potato for a Stilton-flavoured croquette. I'm going to throw some names at you. Tell me who you'd most like and who you'd most fear. Michael O'Hare, Paul Ainsworth, Lisa Goodwin-Allen, Tom Brown.
I'll be happy with any of them. 100% I'd like Lisa Allen.
Because
For the females.
for the females.
Please make it not be Michael O'Hare. That terrifies me. Honestly, it terrifies me.
The canapés are the first chance to not only impress with flavours, but also tell a story in a single bite. Deciding how successfully the chefs do that is 2010 Great British Menu champion, star of last year's Christmas banquet and Michelin-starred executive chef at Northcote. It's Lisa Goodwin-Allen. Hi, welcome, Lisa.
Hello. Hello, Chef.
Chef.
Hi, Chef.
She's not here for small talk, so cracks straight on with the job in hand. First, Liam's canapé is inspired by John Wyatt and his mechanisation of cotton thread spinning machines.
So we have fried chicken, crispy potato string and moss.
Thank you.
Shannon's dedicated her canapé to Edith Smith, the first female constable to be given full powers of arrest.
It's like a tribute to her favourite snack.
I do.
And Stuart has murder in mind.
Takes his inspiration from the invention of Cluedo.
Thank you. So it's called She's Got It.
Sabrina's canapé is inspired by Francis Paulet's production of Stilton cheese.
Thank you.
So now the real competition begins. One of you will not get to cook your whole menu, and you'll be leaving us directly after the fish course.
So I'm really looking forward to see what you create and what you bring to the table. But for me, it's all about flavour.
OK, thank you.
All right,
Best of luck.
Thank you. Lisa, you know, amazing chef. Great to have her critique everything we're doing and inspire us.
So a window into how these chefs are going to be cooking. If you were going to rank them, how do you think it would play out?
Liam, number one. It was a delicious bite, but the prop that it came on really delivered the story.
Very tasty.
Second, Sabrina. The only thing I would say is that it was a little bit it was too big.
Cheesy enough?
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Stuart, Cluedo. Everybody can relate to Cluedo, but I got a little bit confused by it.
So if you don't like mustard, you wouldn't like it.
No.
Shannon, you know, looked like a tasty bite, but it kind of gone a little bit soggy.
I'll take a tray
Bring out
and
a
then.
couple more of
That
those.
was amazing.
You can tell they've really thought about it. I can see that it's going to be a super exciting week.
By the end of the day, one of our 4 chefs will be eliminated from the competition and heading home. The first course scored by veteran Lisa is the starter. Sabrina's hoping to wow the veteran with a dish inspired by Oxford-born Stephen Hawking's theory of black holes. Sabrina.
Hello.
So lovely to have you back.
So my dish is called Hawking's Discoveries. I am creating a little tartlet with filo brick pastry, and then I will be making cheesy leek with black bomber cheese. There'll be a truffle mushroom duxelle, a confit egg yolk with a mushroom espuma, and then we're going to finish the dish with lashings of shaved black truffle.
This is a charcoal powder, is it?
It is, yes.
So you've got quite a lot of rich ingredients here. Is there anything that kind of splits it, that gives you the acidity?
There is. There's a little touch of pickled shallots.
And where does the truffle oil fit in? Because this is quite powerful.
There'll just be a little accent of it through the mushroom duxelle.
Yeah.
And a tiny little touch in the espuma. And so it's actually a very delicate tart where you're exploring layer after layer after layer. And I guess that sort of represents the journey of the mind of discovery.
I think that's a really lovely connection to the brief, actually.
Yeah.
You know this
Best of
kitchen.
luck.
You can breathe into it. I have every faith in you.
Thank you, very kind.
Sabrina's using very rich ingredients, you know, cheese, truffle. Truffle oil, I noticed, was on there, and that's a very powerful ingredient. You use too much and it completely blow your dish.
Liam's taken inspiration for his starter from the Birmingham inventor who helped revolutionise how we brew up.
OK, so the target is to flick the kettle on. The inspiration comes from Arthur L. Large, who furthered the development of the element inside the electric kettle.
Wow, you've got some interesting ingredients here. How are you bringing it all together?
So we're going to do a beef sirloin and onion broth, bone marrow bread and butter pudding.
Pardon?
So smoked bone marrow bread and butter pudding.
Oh, my God, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And you've got like kind of a lot of salady stuff here.
Yeah, I'm going to make a really sharp herb emulsion to kind of tie all together. There's a crispy element going onto the dish as well, which will kind of encapsulate the garden vegetables. In the early kettles, there's a strip element that kind of ran around the base of the kettle. So I was trying to replicate that.
And you think it's really there as an important part of the dish, is it?
I think it will help with texture, because there's no crunch in the dish.
I'm really excited. I mean, that savoury bread and butter pudding, it just sounds filthy, actually. So in.
Liam's got a lot of elements to do. For me, time is a risky thing for him.
Both Shannon and Stuart have taken inspiration from a Cambridge scholar and a nutritionist who devised the rationing diet for the nation during World War II.
The name of my dish is Humble Beginnings, and it's inspired by Elsie Woodleston. And in World War II, she said a sustainable diet of potatoes, cabbage and bread could be eaten. So I'm using these humble ingredients.
Tell me a little bit more about it, how it's going to come together.
I'm going to make a raviolo with some ricotta, smoked some potato, and bone marrow beef jus set in the middle. Some nice seasonal Savoy cabbage.
So what's the idea of the beef that goes in the centre? Is a liquid, is it?
Yes, yes. So hopefully when you open it, a lovely like sauce will pour out of it.
Liam, what do you think about the sound of this?
Sounds awesome. I'm using bone marrow as well, so...
Competition of the marrow.
There we go.
Stuart's also been inspired by the same nutritionist responsible for shaping modern dietary thinking.
So the name of the dish is Take It With a Grain of Salt, and the inspiration is Elsie Woodleston, who did her PhD on the carbohydrate in apples. So there is the fresh apple and pickled apple and a roasted apple puree.
Fabulous. So I see you've got some pork cheeks there.
So there's pork cheek and then the most amazing smoked bacon, which is from a local butcher to me.
In the title of your dish, you mentioned salt.
So I've taken pork airbag and I'll use that as a modern kind of pork scratching.
So this is airbag, is it?
That's it.
Airbag is crispy dehydrated pork skin granules which will provide a salty kick to the dish.
And what's happening with the cabbage?
So that is going to be under the pork cheek, and that's where the smoked bacon's going to go in, so it'll be a choucroute.
So choucroute is something that usually is kind of like fermented and takes a long time.
Yeah, this is.
So yours is a
one.
short time choucroute.
Yeah, sure.
First, Shannon makes a beef sauce for her dish with red wine, shallots and parsley. Then she blends in bone marrow. Once set, it will form part of her raviolo filling.
So this will be my insert for my rav.
Shannon is head chef at former banquet winner Pip Lacey's restaurant Iche. She learnt her craft under the stewardship of GBM veteran chef Angela Hartnett.
From the age of 15, I've always been in the kitchen, always loved it, always worked hard. Working here at Iche restaurant as my first head chef job, nice to have the power and the creativity. For me, being competitive is important. If you want a career in this industry, I'm just going to throw everything into the presentation, the flavours, just make it exceptional.
Back in the kitchen, she splits milk and cream to make ricotta before smoking it with potato.
Hello, Shannon. What have you got going on in there?
So here is my ricotta that I've made and my potato. It will just self-steam in the tray.
Right, OK.
So you just got tea in there, a bit of sugar, a bit of flamers to help it fire.
So you're hoping for a smoky tea flavour then, are you?
Yes.
So inside the raviolo, you've got potato.
So the potato and the ricotta will be mixed together on the base.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the cabbage, bone marrow jelly, and then a little bit more cabbage, and then the ravioli pasta.
So best of luck.
Thank you.
Inside Shannon's raviolo, she's using smoke, tea, potato, ricotta, cabbage with a beef sauce. Will it all work together?
Stay a bit focused.
Sabrina's interpretation of Stephen Hawking's theory of black holes will be a tart blackened with charcoal powder with an egg yolk centre. It requires a delicate touch.
They're just very fragile. OK.
Confit leeks with thyme, tarragon and garlic are sautéed for her tart filling before adding black bomber cheese.
And that should be ready to rock.
Sautéed mushrooms are mixed with stock and cream and reduced.
What have you got going on here?
So we are just working on what will become the mushroom espuma. So I haven't added the truffle yet, and that will finish the top of the tarts. Happy with it? I think I need to amp up the mushroom with a touch of that set powder and a drizzle of truffle oil.
I tasted Sabrina's mushroom cream. It's a little bit grainy. It needs seasoning more. It needs to lift the mushroom, because when you put it into an espuma gun, the flavour needs to be really powerful.
Liam's inspiration for his starter is a Brummie invention, the electric kettle.
Yeah, where would he be about the kettle?
Thirsty, mate. Thirsty.
To add freshness to his dish, Liam makes a herb emulsion. He liquidizes chives, lovage, sheep's sorrel and sheep's yoghurt with gem lettuce.
Hello, Liam, how are you?
Hello, not bad, thank you. Herb emulsion's just finished now. It's quite sharp, just to give the acidity with the bone marrow.
Is this a pastry foil?
That's right,
All
yeah.
right. Any worries?
Yeah. These breaking will be a big stitch up.
And you think you'd be able to do 100 of these?
Careful, chef. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Liam's worked with big names in the industry like Marcus Waring. He describes his own cooking style as modern British and says it won't be long before he gets Lichfield on the map.
Early in my career, it was kind of very traditional cooking, and then kind of experimented with different restaurants that were very progressive. I like to think about a healthy balance of the two. So the boat in, we'll try and let the food do the talking. I don't want that stuffy, fine dining environment. Yeah, I'm honoured to be representing the Central region. I think I've got a shot in the competition, definitely. It would be a dream to get to the banquet.
Back in the kitchen, Stuart has to get his pork cheeks in the pressure cooker if they're going to be cooked in time.
All or nothing, isn't it?
Inspired by food scientist Elsie Widdowson, Stuart hopes roast apple puree and pickled apples will be a perfect match for his pork cheeks.
Looking good, looking good.
For his choux-croute, Stuart wilts shredded cabbage, adding smoked bacon and garlic. He adds juniper berries and white wine and cider vinegar.
Hi, Stuart.
Chef, how are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good. Choux-croute's cooking down.
You got any there that's try up?
It's not quite finished. It will just cook down a bit more and a tiny bit more butter to enrich in it.
You happy with how everything's coming together?
Happy so far.
I'll leave you to crack on.
Thank you.
Stuart's dish takes inspiration from a sign-off line Elsie Widdowson adopted at the end of her academic lectures.
Take it with a grain of salt. This is the salt.
He fries pork airbag, which puffs up into popcorn-sized pork crackling.
Crunchy. Nice.
Shannon's first up to serve and is up against it.
Faster rolling pasta you've ever seen in your life.
For the filling, Shannon pipes tea-smoked potato and ricotta and adds blanched cabbage. Caramelised onions are topped with beef sauce jelly and another layer of cabbage.
It's just about set, it should be okay.
Okay, 5 minutes, Shannon.
Yes, please. Yes. Sabrina, can you just put these onions onto there, please?
Yeah.
Stuart, you just check on my pasta, please.
But the raviolo needs longer to cook.
3 minutes, Shannon.
Yes,
Are we
no
good?
problem. Yeah, I'm very good, very on time.
Whilst she waits for her pasta, she makes a cavolo nero pesto.
Okay, you due up on the pass now, Shannon. Are we good?
Yes, chef. Coming up.
With the pasta finally ready, she pours brown butter over her raviolo before plating and garnishes with cavolo nero pesto, baby pickled onions and fried celeriac. How much time do you need, Shannon?
I just need 30 more seconds, please.
A minute and a half late to the pass, she serves her pasta wrapped in vintage newspaper with a treacle and charcoal bread on the side.
Happy?
Thanks, Raj. Yes,
Yeah?
very happy. The name of the dish is Humble Beginnings, and it is inspired by Elsie Widdowson, who did a study on bread, cabbage and potato as part of rationing.
Really nice kind of presentation. Absolutely. Should we go and taste?
Yes.
Good luck, Shannon.
What a lovely thing to unwrap.
That is a nice little present, isn't it?
The size of it?
I would have liked it a little bit smaller, but my ricotta and potato base was a bit wetter than I'd hoped, so I made it a little bit bigger so it wouldn't ooze out.
And when you cut into it, you get a kind of waft of rich kind of deliciousness.
Are you happy with the thickness of the pasta?
I think it could be a little bit thinner, but it's cooked, so I'm happy with it.
Pasta's spot on.
Are you happy with the flavour of the beef sauce? Do you think it comes through?
I think a bit more bone marrow than beef comes through, but that's kind of what I want it to be, the rich element of the pasta.
I think it needs a touch more salt for me on the inside.
Touch more salt?
But I think that's just because of the cabbage.
And the texture and the pickling on the onions you're happy with?
And they just give it that nice sharp, real like acidity to it.
There's a little bite to that cabbage inside. Do you like that?
I think it's needed, very rich dish, so
Yeah, definitely.
the acid's a nice touch.
Are you happy? You can taste enough of the potato and the ricotta.
I think we could have done with more potato and ricotta, but I think you can taste like the fragrant, slight smoke of it.
Should we have some scores, Stuart?
7.
It's a clear 7 from you.
It would be a 7 from me. It's really clever.
Yeah, 7, maybe verging on an 8.
Probably score it 7 out of 10.
Thank you.
Woo!
How was that?
Good. How do you guys think it went?
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Did Lisa give anything away?
No, she's a very calm and collected woman, isn't she?
Next to the pass is Sabrina. She starts by plating the fragile tart case.
I'm really pleased with how they've come out.
Then confit leeks and black bomber cheese.
3 minutes to the pass, Sabrina.
She layers mushroomed excel and pickled shallots, followed by egg yolks.
You don't want to break one?
No, I really don't.
They look good.
After bacon crumb, she tops the tart with the mushroom espuma. But the espuma gun is threatening to blow all her careful work.
Now, this is always the nervy time that you blast through and crack it open.
Oh!
Like that.
Oh! Averting disaster, Sabrina decides to spoon on the espuma before sprinkling porcini and activated charcoal powder, and finally, shavings of truffle.
Okay. Wow. The name of the dish is Hawking's Discoveries, chef, and quite on brand. It's the discovery of Stephen Hawking's exploding black holes, so just like my espuma.
So that was planned then, was it?
Yeah, absolutely.
A little bit of theatre for
Planned
us all.
to the end, chef.
Right, should we go and taste?
Yeah, chef.
Let's go.
Good luck, chef.
Thank you.
What do we think of the visual of this, guys?
I think it's a beautiful dish. You can definitely see it looks like a black coal.
So you're happy with the runniness of the egg yolk?
I am, chef. I think it adds a really nice richness to it.
A little more set than I think she wanted it to be. Are you disappointed that the egg isn't more oozy?
I mean, it could have been a little bit more, but it's going to help to bind the dish together.
And you're happy with the pastry?
Yeah, it's retained its crispness.
I'd see you had a few issues with your mushroom cream that you popped on the top.
Yes, chef.
Are you happy with the flavour in the espuma?
I am. I would again amp up the truffle ever so slightly.
Let's get some scores, shall we?
8, I think. It's a dish I can see definitely at the banquet.
An 8, based on the egg yolk, I think.
I'm going to go in with a 9. I really like it.
I give myself a 7, chef. There's some work to be done.
Thank you.
Hi.
How was that?
Good.
What do you think?
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feel a bit better now one's down, actually.
Next to the pass is Liam. He strains the beef broth. Then he pan-fries the baked bread and bone marrow pudding before plating.
Bone marrow B&B going in now.
You got 5 minutes to the pass, Liam.
Yes, chef.
Once on the plate, crispy pastry coils are filled with vegetables.
So what veggies have you got going on?
So, little courgettes, baby carrot, leeks.
He dots with herb emulsion, then the turnips and radish.
Just to give it more texture.
Liam decants beef broth and flicks the kettle on, but there's no time for him to put his feet up.
3 minutes, Liam.
Yes, chef.
So is the kettle actually on and it's keeping it warm, yeah?
That's really cool.
That's it.
After garnishing with herbs, he delivers with time to spare.
Early by 1 minute, Liam.
Okay, so this is Flick the Kettle On, inspired by Arthur L. Large, and the coil in the electric kettle.
Good luck, chef.
Thank you very much.
Go and try.
Lovely size to start the banquet.
Smells rich, it smells like it's got depth.
So, this is a famous kettle.
That's it.
The beef flavour in the broth. Have you got enough beefiness, do you think?
I think so, with the bread and butter pudding as well.
I just think if it sat there, it would absorb most of the broth and just be, like, really soggy.
And the texture of the bread and butter pudding.
I think it's delicious.
Has he managed to imbue that broth with enough deep flavour?
Plenty of flavour in the dish.
You think there's enough emulsion there on the dish?
Maybe as it starts to break down a touch more. I just don't want it being too sharp, but yeah, maybe some more on there.
Oh, I love that emulsion. It cuts the fat and the richness so well.
And the coil, do you think it brings enough texture to the dish?
I think that and the vegetables, it does.
It's an 8 from me.
Say, solid 8.
Stuart, a score, please.
8.
I think a strong 7. I don't think we're blowing anyone out of the water with this.
Thank you.
How was that?
Yeah, good.
Happy?
Offer me a job.
Yes.
Last to the pass is Stuart with his dish, Take It with a Grain of Salt, inspired by the pioneer of nutritional studies. He first glazes his pork cheeks. How you doing, Stuart?
Good, couple of minutes. So we've got a roasted apple and vanilla puree.
Nice.
It's followed by cabbage and bacon choucroute.
That smells amazing from here, Stuart.
And topped with pickled apples.
Happy with that, mate, yeah?
Finally, his braised pork cheeks are added before serving.
So the name of the dish is Take It with a Grain of Salt, and the inspiration is Elsie Widowson.
Wow, let's go and taste.
Great.
Good luck. I can't wait to eat this. It's everything that I love about food.
This is the salt element.
Yes, so pork scratchings, obviously from the Black Country. This is a more innovative way, using the pork airbag.
Is the texture of the cheek what you were looking for?
Lovely and soft, still got the slightest texture to it, lovely and rich.
Are you getting all those spices?
Absolutely. Yeah.
The texture of the choucroute is something you were going for?
It is a quick choucroute, but the cabbage is cooked nicely, the bacon's nice and tender.
All the flavours are there that you'd expect.
I would have wanted more seasoning in the crackling.
Do you think there's enough apple coming through in the dish?
For me, yeah, I think the pickled apple, it's got like a little fresh crunch to it.
Strong 9.
Liam?
10. I think.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid 9. I think he's done Elsie justice.
And if you had to score it?
I'd like to go an 8.
Starters down. Well done, guys. Good cooking. I'm going to go find Lisa. We can have a little chat. Can you just give me an overview? What are you thinking?
I think there's 2 that really impressed, but there's 2 that needed a little bit more refinement.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Chef.
How'd it go?
All right.
The first hurdle's done, now the second hurdle to go.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll smash it.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of any high-ish scores?
Might be a few cheeky ones there.
Score time.
Let's do it.
Shall we?
I want to help the chefs get the most out of the feedback, as I know what Friday's judges will ultimately be looking for.
Shannon, for your dish, humble beginnings. You brought to life that wartime rationing with the newspaper, and you managed to elevate humble ingredients. The flavour of the pasta itself was delicious, could have been a bit thinner. The smoked potato and the ricotta filling tasted really good, but I wanted more of it. The bone marrow beef sauce gave a richness, but it wanted to be a bit beefier. The whole dish, for me, needs to be a bit more refined. Sabrina, for your dish. I really like the inspiration of the exploding black hole. In your tartlet, I enjoyed the subtle note of the cheese and the texture of the leeks. The egg yolk, in principle, is a good idea. I'd suggest a quail egg. It was just a bit big. You just used the right amount of truffle for me. Any more, it would have overwhelmed the dish. Unfortunately, the mushroom espuma was a bit flat in flavour. Liam, for your dish, flick the kettle on. I thought your inspiration was real fun, and your broth in the copper kettle, you really did flick the kettle on. The texture of the bread and butter pudding was great. The herb emulsion gave it freshness, acidity, and I loved it. The coil was a very nice texture, and it tied back to the story of the dish. For me, you could have clarified the beef sauce to give it more impact. Stuart, for your dish, take it with a grain of salt. The link to the brief really came through. The cooking of the pig sheet was spot on. The bacon and the cabbage choux had light little pops of juniper and a slight crunch to it as well. I really enjoyed it. If you were to do this again, I would have liked a light, aromatic pork jus to finish it. And I liked the use of the pork scratchings, the way of adding that little extra salt. I thought it was really good fun. So, to the scores. Shannon, I'm giving you a 7.
Shannon, loads of potential this dish, great flavour, but the whole thing just needs to be sharper.
Sabrina, I'm giving you a 7.
Sabrina, visually you had an excellent connection to the brief. Listen to Lisa's advice. She's given you some really good advice, I think, on that.
Liam, I'm scoring you an 8.
This dish has the potential to score very highly, but you can maintain the elegance and still have a more generous portion.
Stuart, I'm scoring you a 9.
Just beautiful cooking. All that was missing for me was more sauce.
Sure.
So it's been a strong start. Now for the next course, it's fish. As some of you may know, I have a shellfish allergy. This means I've asked a very good friend to come and help me judge your dishes.
It's one of the most revered chefs in modern British cooking and holder of a whopping 4 Michelin stars. It's Simon Rogan.
Oh, lordy.
Hi, Chef.
How you doing?
Chef.
I'm really looking forward to some exceptional fish cookery today, full of innovation.
Well done, chefs. Well done to all of you. Thank you.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
Simon Rogan. Go on.
Well,
I get cracking.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Fish
do
dish
it.
gone.
Next, it's the fish course, and with one chef leaving after this and not one but 2 veterans to impress, the pressure is well and truly on.
I've got to pull out all the stops now for him and really show him what I can do.
It's always a privilege to cook for phenomenal chefs.
To have his opinion, along with Lisa's, will be superb.
There isn't just one judge, there's Simon and Lisa.
Fish dish for me is all about the main ingredient, treating that with the utmost respect and serving it in such a way that just makes me go, wow.
Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go, yeah?
Yeah, wait.
Awesome.
It's close, so only 2 points.
Stuart's in the lead, getting 9 for his starter. Like Sabrina, Stuart's fish dish is inspired by Stephen Hawking's theory on black holes. First, he cures his trout in a beetroot, fennel and sake marinade.
The dish is called Singularity.
So the mass inside the black hole is called singularity.
Oh, is it?
So within the bowl, everything will become one.
And what's everything going to be?
Inside the bowl will be the cured trout, the tarama salata, the candy beetroot, golden beetroot, and then some lovely caviars and nasturtium leaves on top. And then it'll all be covered by a black coral crisp that you'll crack through.
There's going to be a great big bang at the end of this. OK, well,
Yes.
we'll look forward to that.
Thank you.
Stuart's worked in some of the top kitchens around the world, but these days you'll find him at his restaurant in Whitchurch in Shropshire.
My cooking style is modern British with a good international influence. Docket number 33 is, we want it to be relaxed, we want it to be welcoming, we want it to be warm. So the menu, we really focus on the local produce that's available, that's at its absolute best in season. This year's brief is really exciting. It's certainly going to be challenging, timings are going to be tight, but the dishes are going to be amazing.
Back in the kitchen, Stuart fries his black coral tuile, which he hopes will provide the drama on the plate.
It's not easy, is it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Liam is 1 point behind Stuart. He's cooking a whole crab for his fish dish before putting the brown meat aside for an emulsion. How you doing?
I'm OK, excited.
That's a good response.
This is called the apple, and the inspiration for this dish is Sir Isaac Newton.
Right.
And his understanding of gravity. We're using Dorset crab to fill the apple with.
So it's all going to be inside a hollowed actual apple, and you're going to layer it up.
That's right. And there's a kelp
Are you making
umami
a jelly?
So we've got kelp, tuna flakes, mirin, soy.
It's the sort of dashi?
Yes. And then we're using some lingonberries, some pickled elderberries to finish the dish. We're going to make some crackers also.
Wonderful. All right, my dear. Well, I wish you lots of luck.
Cheers.
I think there's a great inspiration there, but it just needs to get the layers and the balance of the dish just right.
Trailing by 2 points, Shannon prepares skate for her dish, Helix. It's inspired by a Cambridge scientist, Rosalind Franklin, whose work was central to understanding the structure of DNA.
So I'm doing skate on the bone.
It's again this beautiful looking skate.
So I'm just salting it for 20 minutes just to remove some of the moisture. I'm just pan frying it really crispy on one side and then just some butter, lemon, and serving it on the bone. And I'm serving it with Jerusalem artichoke puree, artichoke crisps, some sea aster, Madeira white wine sauce, and some variegated kale.
And how does that connect to DNA?
Behind the skate that's cooked on the bone, there's going to be a fish bone-shaped helix molecule.
Quite challenging. Sounds like there's quite a lot that could be tricky with
Yes.
this. I wish you well.
Thank you.
And I'll see you on the other side of this beautiful-looking piece of fish. Sabrina starts by making her cocoa bread. She's tied in last place with Shannon and needs to do well if she's to stay in the competition.
Quite a lot to be done here.
Her dish, Duplicate Circulate, is a tribute to the University of Birmingham's distinguished academic Stuart Hall, a pioneer in contemporary cultural studies. Brilliant, inspiring man.
It's the idea of sharing knowledge, sharing culture, and for us to be proud of those moments when they're shared with us. So we have got a rum punch cocktail with dark rum, saltfish fritter served inside a cocoa bread, and a sea bass, pan-fried bass served with vegetables, sort of escabeche style.
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
A lovely connection, I like it.
Thank you.
Self-taught chef Sabrina is in her element in the kitchen at London's Albright.
To work with an amazing brigade full of people cooking the food that I love, I think I'm very lucky to do what I do. Because I have such an open approach to food and didn't have that formal training, I feel I have this global citizen kind of vibe approach to my cooking. I think this year's brief is open to quite a lot of interpretation. Innovation, I think that's something that all chefs really strive for. I am so excited to be returning to the Great British Menu Kitchen. No matter where I go, I am still the girl from Wolverhampton, and I'm here to champion what's local. Do I have what it takes? Yeah, I really do.
Back in the kitchen, Sabrina presses on with her green herb sauce. She blends herbs with spring onions and ginger.
Pressure's on for myself, really, and I'm feeling it.
Getting a bit twitchy now, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, what do you reckon? Plain sailing, Stuart?
No, not at all. It's close, so only 2 points.
It's gone very serious in there. I mean, I think they've all just remembered that someone is going home after this course. It's brutal, but it's the truth.
See, fish is very, very tricky for timings and getting it absolutely bang on.
Stuart blends smoked cod's roe with breadcrumbs, lemon oil and anchovy paste for his tribute to Stephen Hawking.
So we've got the taramasalata here for the bottom of the dish.
Can I try that?
Of course, of course.
Happy with that?
Yeah, quite smoky, quite strong in its flavour, but it's a small amount on the bottom of the dish.
So you're going to be tricky getting the layers absolutely bang on.
Yeah.
Confident?
Yeah.
Because you're at the top of that leaderboard now.
No, yeah.
Question is, are you going to keep it?
I hope so.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It's got a lot of big flavours going on in this plate.
Yeah.
We're all going to be fighting with each other.
Liam's making the crunchy element to go with his apple.
Just a lavash cracker for the crab dish.
His kelp dish, dashi, a Japanese stock, has been infusing.
So loads of umami. Can I just have a taste?
Absolutely. It's very punchy.
Yeah, it's quite intense.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to really keep you interested while you're eating the crab.
You're 1 point behind Stuart.
That's right, yeah.
Are you burning to get that top spot now?
Yeah, I think so.
Fish cookery, very precise.
Right, we'll let you get cracking.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Good luck.
Cheers, chef.
Liam's crab and the apple, there isn't that much to it. I would hate to see too much of the jelly being used because it will be very overpowering.
Shannon will be serving artichoke crisps alongside her skate.
So we have lovely seasonal Jerusalem artichokes, very earthy, flavoursome.
She's also making an artichoke puree.
Keep it calm and cool. Hopefully I'll get through.
And what's this? Is this your
That's
artichoke
my
puree?
artichoke puree, yeah.
Can I
Artichoke
try it?
puree, absolutely.
Happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very happy with it, yeah.
I'm intrigued to see this one, how it pans out in presentation.
Think of the DNA structure.
OK, that's what I'm having trouble with.
So you're going to really concentrate on pairing those flavours together.
Seasoning and the cooking of the fish for me is got to be spot on.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to be going out.
She looks like a woman in control. Her Jerusalem artichoke puree is delicious.
Very focused.
Very focused.
For her fritters, Sabrina blends salt cod with spring onions, plum tomatoes and thyme.
So this is a super hot Scotch bonnet sauce. I know that seems like not enough, but we've got to play it safe.
She's also adding some of the spicy sauce to her mango sweet chilli sauce. For her escabeche, Sabrina mixes white wine and Porto vinegars with sugar. A Scotch bonnet, left to infuse, provides a touch of heat.
Not too much heat in this, hopefully, no?
Not too much.
This
is a mango sweet chilli.
Mango sweet chilli, may I?
Yes, please, chef. I'm trying to just make sure that it's not too hot for you.
How are you going to serve this?
So I'm going to chill it down,
Yeah.
and then it's going inside a little cocoa bread.
OK.
So the last fish dish that you did in the GBM kitchen, didn't you get a 10 for it?
I did, chef. 2 years on the bounce.
Right. So no pressure there, then?
No, I know. What was I thinking?
You've got history, so
really
we're
do.
expecting great things from this dish. Well,
Best of luck, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
yeah. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck. Sabrina's mango chili sauce, thankfully, was just right in the heat sake, but didn't take anything away from the mango.
She's got an amazing amount of pressure on her shoulders. She got a 10 twice over for her previous dish.
Yeah.
She's got to pull a 10 out today.
Stuart's first to the pass.
Gonna be there, gonna be there, gonna be there. Right, let's go.
The taramasalata lines the base of his dish. It's followed by his trout tartare and candy and golden beetroot.
4 minutes to the pass, Stuart.
Wait.
He has 2 types of caviar.
So we've got the Exmoor caviar, and then we've got the trout caviar.
Looks absolutely stunning, chef. Really gorgeous.
1 minute to the pass now.
Yes, chef.
The nasturtium and tagetes leaves are added.
More for colour, fiery elements.
Gosh, look at those.
Then the final touch, a black coral tweel.
So the name of the dish is Singularity, and it's inspired by Stephen Hawking's theory of the black holes.
So we crack that cracker,
Yeah,
and there's the singularity under the cracker.
indeed.
Right, Simon. Stuart, should we go and taste?
Let's do it.
It
It's intriguing.
It really is.
Evokes a black hole.
Just a little tap.
Yep.
Beneath it's the big wow of colours.
So all the aromats that you've got in the tartare, have they come through as you wanted?
I think you get the dill, the coriander seed and fennel seed, bring a seasoning to the dish.
Are you tasting those things?
Get the fennel.
The flavour of the aromats on the fish is really excellent, but it's a bit salty for me personally.
Do you think you've got the ratio of the fish and the taramasalata correct?
I believe so. It brings a richness to the dish.
The taramasalata, does it overpower?
I don't think it overpowers.
Are you happy with what the candy and golden beetroot are bringing to the dish?
Yeah, I think they bring the sweetness to the dish.
I love these little flavour pops you get when you eat the beetroot.
So if you were scoring this dish, Stuart?
Probably an 8. I think it is good.
It's a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah, I'm a solid 9 as well.
Yeah, definitely 9. 9, I think.
Hello, hello.
All right. How was the new judge?
Yeah, it's full on. It's full on.
Liam's up next. He starts by clipping the apple-shaped lavash crackers to tiny apple trees.
So to help eat it, a bit of crunch, a bit of bite.
Next, he fills cored pink lady apples with white crab meat, followed by the brown crab emulsion.
Just going to put some apples in here just to keep breaking it up.
Are you using just one type of apple?
Using Granny Smith because it's got more acidity to it.
Then it's the kelp jelly and more white crab.
OK, 3 minutes to go.
Yes, chef.
Liam's apple is finished with wild lingonberries and elderberries, and to garnish, apple marigold.
Look at that.
This is called The Apple. It's inspired by Sir Isaac Newton. It's going to finish it with shade.
OK, what do we all think? It's stunning.
That's amazing.
Let's go and taste.
Either way.
I just think it's really appealing.
It's very fun. It's very playful.
You happy with the cooking of the crab?
Yeah, I think so.
The crab is really meaty. It's good crab. And the apple's really fresh with it.
Do you think the brown crab emulsion comes through?
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's quite punchy with all the other flavours in there as well.
I think a little more of the brown crab.
The crab element. He's done well.
Are you happy with the amount of apple compared to the crab?
Yeah, I think so. It needs those fresh, refreshing bites just to keep you interested in the crab.
If you get a bite of the apple, it's just the apple, and you kind of want it like little bits in with the crab and the lovely berries.
Do you think there's enough of the kelp jelly?
I think so. It's quite punchy, so I don't want to overload the apple with it.
It's got great depth, I think, that jelly.
Have you got the season right on the biscuits, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Just a nice amount of celery salt just to kind of help with eating the crab.
Let's do some scores. Shannon, I'm going to start with you.
I think a solid 8.
7.
Sabrina?
7.
Probably an 8, I think.
How was that, chef?
Yeah, tough. Yeah, he doesn't give anything away.
Nothing.
Not one thing, old Simon.
The scores are so close that any one of the 4 chefs could be eliminated after the fish dish. Following her chaotic starter plating, the pressure is on as Shannon pan-fries her skate just before plating.
Just give it a nice space, you know?
Okay, 2 minutes to the pass?
Yeah.
She uses the pan juices to make a sauce.
So we've still got the lovely flavours of the fish.
Yeah.
You've got some lemon in there, and the rest of the butter's just turned into a lovely beurre noisette.
Her fishbone sculpture, a nod to the helix structure of DNA, is first on the plate. Next, her skate.
Yeah, they look amazing on the plate.
Yeah, that's seriously cool.
Sautéed variegated kale, sea aster and artichoke puree follow.
You due at the pass now?
Yep.
Then it's toasted hazelnuts, artichoke crisps, capers, all finished with the beurre noisette. Shallot sauce is served in jugs on the side.
Well, you certainly like to give yourself a challenge at the last minutes, don't you?
So this is called Helix, and it's inspired by Rosalind Franklin and the DNA molecule.
Right, shall we go and taste?
Let's go test it then.
What do you think about the giant bone?
A cool fun way to get the brief across.
Are you happy with the crease on the fish?
It's very tricky, obviously, to cook fish on the bone, but I think it's still soft, it's still juicy.
Is the fish on point for you?
I think so. For me, this piece is great. Just cooked, nicely seasoned.
So are you happy with the balance of the dish?
I think the Jerusalem artichokes and the hazelnuts give a nice earthiness. And yeah, the kale is a birth of freshness.
I'm a big fan of variegated kale. I think it looks really beautiful.
And you think you got the right amount of hazelnut on there?
I actually think it could have done with a bit more.
The toasted nuts, are they a good idea?
They bring a lovely flavour, but for me, perhaps a little bit smaller.
Quite chunky, aren't they? Those
Yeah.
two scores.
I think an 8. The flavours are lovely. Not sure it tells you the brief.
It's an 8.
I think 8's a very fair score for it.
And what score would you give this dish?
I'd probably give it a 7.
How was that, Chef?
Hello.
I literally don't give a batter an eyelid or anything.
No.
Really. I was like, have I done something wrong?
With plenty still to do at the last minute, Sabrina fries her salt cod fritters.
I want to get a couple fried off.
The fritters, along with sweet mango chilli sauce, are sandwiched in the cocoa bread.
I'm like actually on fire.
With the sea bass cooking, first to the plate is Sabrina's vegetable escabeche,
5 minutes, Sabrina.
Oui, Chef?
followed by herb cream sauce and vegetable garnishes.
OK, 30 seconds to the pass.
Oui, Chef?
Last to the plate is the sea bass with a coriander cress garnish. Rum cocktail is served at the pass. All right, Simon Rogan, leave some for the rest of us.
Happy with it?
I am, Chef.
Amazing job. Should we go and taste?
Yes.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, very pretty.
It's celebrating Sir Stuart Hall, and it's supposed to be about cultural exchange. Are you getting that?
No.
Are you happy with cooking of the fish?
I am, Chef. I am. I think it's still nice and moist.
It is a bit under seasoned, but it's cooked nicely.
Good texture.
Yeah, it's a
Not enough
lovely,
salt.
lovely fish.
You happy with the acidity of it?
I think perhaps a little bit more of the green sauce and the chilli, but I really like how fresh it is.
You sort of put on that little green, sort of gingery, garlicky, herbal. Are you getting that?
I couldn't pick it out individually.
Are you happy with the appearance and the amount of acid in the escabeche?
Traditionally, there's a lot more crunch retained in the vegetables, but in order to sit with the fish, I wanted to take it a little bit further so that you really get a bit more of the sweetness out of the vegetables.
I think the kind of escabeche at the bottom is very strong and powerful. I think the fish kind of gets a bit lost.
So is the texture of the bun what you hope for?
The bun's nice and soft.
You like the cocoa bread?
That's amazing.
Sort of sweet.
Yeah.
So do you think the seasoning in the salt cod fritters is OK for you?
I think it is. You can taste the herbs in there, the coriander and the green onion.
Do you think it could be crisper, the fritter?
I think it could have been a bit crisper. It does have like a strange texture. I don't know what she's put in there.
Are you happy with the balance of the cocktail? Have you got the right amount of rum in there, do you think?
I think it's spot on.
Do you think it all comes together as one dish?
I think perhaps a little card to sit alongside to explain why it's in 3 parts.
So, if you were to score this dish...
I'd give it a 7, Chef. I'm very annoyed at myself that I didn't kick off with the chilli.
6.
6.
I was going to go with 6 as well.
3 6s. OK, that is fish done, people. Well done. I'm going to go and find those 2 veterans of yours. And we'll come and find you with some scores shortly.
Thanks,
All right,
Andrew.
thank you.
They've really stepped up to the plate today and listened to what I said about that flavour. You know, now they've confused him because it's going to be a hard one to judge.
Yeah.
2 big courses.
Yep.
2 big veteran chefs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
How are we doing?
Very well.
Oh, my God. I'm so pleased it's over.
We're sending someone home today, and in my mind, none of them deserve to go home today because they've all delivered a great plate of food.
Oh, yeah, and one of us is going home.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Right, let's go.
Chefs, It was wonderful to see such passion and engagement with the brief.
Stuart, for your dish Singularity, your dish concept celebrating Stephen Hawking was well thought through and visually exciting. You brought a sense of theatre with the black coral crisp. In my mind, the beetroot cure on the trout was perfect. There was pleasing acidity and the aromats all came through. I was worried the smoky taram masala might overpower the delicate trout, but the seasonings are spot on. If I was to nitpick, I would have a little more beetroot on there. Overall, a very balanced dish. Liam, for your dish, the apple. Your presentation with a little apple tree and hollowed out pink lady looked really pretty. You hit the brief bang on, the crab was well cooked, and the dish was fresh and seasoned on point. I thought the brown crab emulsion could have been a bit stronger. I tasted the kelp jelly, which was punchy when it was warm. Once it was set, it lost its depth. I could have had more of it in the final dish. There was a lot of apple. It gave acidity, but I think you could have been a little bit more imaginative with them. The apple lavash biscuits gave a nod to the brief and added a real texture. All in all, I thought it was a little bit one-dimensional and think more about those layers. Sabrina, for your dish, duplicate, circulate. The sea bass was cooked perfectly, really moist, well seasoned, and a lovely crisp skin. The vegetable escabeche had acidity and a good heat from the Scotch bonnet. The saltfish fritter in the cocoa bread was delicious. The story behind your dish was great. I would say that if you go further, you would need this link to be a little bit stronger. Shannon, for your dish, Helix. It was risky to cook the skate on the bone, but I'm pleased to say it paid off. The skate was spot on. It tasted amazing and was perfectly seasoned. I like the artichoke puree. It complemented the skate very well. I just wanted more of it. The kale was well seasoned. The cream sauce finished the dish off really, really nicely. The one ingredient I pulled back on were the hazelnuts, actually. I thought there were a little bit too many. The only area that needs a little work is the presentation. I have to question if a fishbone on the plate would be enough to tell this story. So to the scores. Stuart, I'm scoring you an 8.
Stuart, the link to the brief is amazing. I know that Simon was a big fan of the taram salata. I personally think you need to dial it back a bit, but it was a great dish.
Liam, I'm scoring you a 7.
Your presentation is magical. It just needs refining. It just needs to be a bit more elegant.
Shannon, I'm giving you a 7.
Shannon, really delicious fish cookery, buttery and moorish. The presentation, however, needs a lot more thought. That giant fishbone just doesn't work.
Sabrina, I'm scoring you an 8.
Sabrina, I love the story you're trying to tell, but the link needs to be clearer and stronger. So, that means by 1 point only, unfortunately, Shannon, you'll be leaving us at this point in the competition.
Shannon, you should be extremely proud of yourself. You came back fighting in that fish course. You're a star, and I definitely want to see you back here next year.
Thank you.
And thank you for 4 really amazing plates of food today. I've really enjoyed it.
Thank you, chefs.
Thank you.
Well done, guys. Somebody's got to go home, it's fine. Well, best of luck to all of you.
Devastated, mate.
I would have liked to have cooked my main course because I felt that was a really strong inspiration. But some things aren't just meant to be.
To be given an 8 from Simon Rogan is amazing, but tomorrow I'm gunning for a 10.
As long as I can keep you on Stuart and make sure he's not getting too much of a lead, then yeah, I'll be happy.
Yeah, 2 points ahead, but I can't get complacent. I need to stay on my game, keep pushing, and bring out the big dishes tomorrow.
It's been a great day today, some great dishes, but there's only 1 point in it, and I'm super excited to see what comes tomorrow because I want to be giving some 10s. Bring on the main course.
Come on.
Tomorrow, Stuart, Sabrina and Liam will have to fight it out in the kitchen.
What?
No drama, baby llama.
Before we find out which two will make it